and welcome back to the Spur and Claw podcast. I'm your host, Julian Mazar, as always. Sitting across from me, as always, is my co-host, Jimmy Walsh. Week 1 is in conclusion. I have to address the elephant in the room. Yes, I lost a bet for the Cowboys losing the first game, and that's when my hair is bleached.
Is that?
No.
Okay. Oh, wow.
No, doing it for personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're looking good.
I just thought that was a good joke. So today we're going to be talking about... First, we're going to break down the Bears win over the Lions. What was the final score?
Good question.
Yeah.
Off the top, it would be a total guess.
It was a win, is what it was.
Yeah, it was.
We're gonna break down the good news first, and then we'll get into the sad news of the.
We were down 6.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The final score was 27-23. Chicago Bears.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to break down their dub. It was a great game. Let me hear your opinions on the game just from a 10,000-foot view.
Okay. So, Bears opening week, I felt, for the most part, I felt good. And that's probably because we won.
Yeah. But
if we didn't win, there's definitely a lot of things to focus on. It wasn't necessarily because, one or two things. Mm-hmm. But I think... Yeah, we got lucky this game. A lot of things went our way for sure, but we did take advantage of that.
Yeah, and the best thing I would say about that game, from an overall just general thing, is I think y'all trended the right way. Y'all started off a little shaky, but y'all really started gelling. And you'd rather have it that order than the opposite. Y'all come out hot and y'all just flatline after that.
Yeah, just peak.
Yeah, so we got 6 segments that we're just gonna break down, just kind of I guess it would be It's a pretty standard layout on it's basically what are we gonna start out with first?
Just probably offensive player of the game, and defensive player of the game, then a couple moments, and then we'll end it with MVP.
Yeah, sure. So let's start with my opinion.
That's what I was gonna ask.
I didn't get to watch the Bears game live on Sunday.
You watched some, no? Did you watch any?
No, I was keeping up with it. You had sent me a stream. It was a little iffy, so I was tuning in and out, and I was at work, I think, during that time. So I really got I watched the full game this morning, so my opinions are pretty fresh on this game.
I should have rewatched the full game. I just rewatched the highlights about 3 times.
Yeah. So for offensive player of the game for the Bears,
Bears dub. Let's go.
How many? I'm gonna look up all the stats for the
16-0.
16-0.
That's how you started.
On the road to 16-0 for the Bears.
That's how you start.
Apologize as I pull up the stats for the game, just because we haven't really thought about these. They just presented.
I'll start it then. Offensive player of the game. Not much to go off of here, but I'm gonna say Anthony Miller.
Yeah.
You could maybe go, of course, Biscuit. Maybe Jimmy Graham. I think that Jimmy Graham.
If he would have scored on that second touchdown, maybe.
But even then, he dropped another one. His hops looked like he had metal plates. I think he just really mistimed it. I don't think because we saw him in practice.
Yeah, and
he looked like he was just getting a little bit excited when the ball came his way, and he was just missing some throws that probably should have came in. But he got that beautiful back shoulder. He was literally 7 inches taller than the cornerback. Yeah. So you had to have caught that for one. But I think offensive player would go Anthony Miller because every time they called on this man, he did it.
Yep.
He got a first down, one hand toe drag on the sideline.
Yep.
He got a couple catches over the middle.
Yeah.
And
he was explosive, man.
He looked good.
He seems like he's really rounding out his game and just becoming
he looked good. And then of course the big catch.
Yeah.
Probably Mitch's best throw of his career, would you say? That you've seen probably for sure you've seen.
Yeah, probably.
It's got to be up there.
And just because of the moment it was in. So I'm going to agree it's Anthony Miller just because he was 4 for 76. It's 19 yards a pop. He had a touchdown, obviously. Allen Robinson, he was good in this game, but I feel like even Miller was a little bit more steady than he was, and a little bit more consistent.
He just looked good.
Yeah, just because I feel like Mitch was trying to, with Robinson, he would try to fit it in probably a little bit smaller
I think Anthony
windows.
just got a little more open this game.
Exactly. Obviously has the speed in the route running. I would agree with that. Mitch is in contention a little bit. He started off the game really, really rough, but he ended up 20 for 36 for 242 and 3 touchdowns. So
then he ran for probably over 30. How many yards he run for?
Yeah, no, and that was some of his better plays. He looks pretty athletic out there, obviously.
What does it say on there for his rushing? So he got one big run where he was running for his dear life.
I don't have it up here, but I'm assuming it was at least like 30 yards, 40 yards. So yeah, I think Anthony Miller would be the offensive player of the game. With Robinson slightly behind for me. Defensive player of the game.
Defensive player.
I already know who it is for me.
I haven't really thought that hard about the specific performances on defense. I guess just overall, I think everyone played pretty well. We missed, of course, Eddie Goldman, and then the big key last week specifically was Robert Quinn. So we were really just rotating everybody on that other on that other edge.
This morning I was trying to look at who you guys were throwing in there. It was a lot of Gibson got a decent amount of reps, but
he was in there.
We kind of predicted what we were talking about though earlier whenever we broke down the breakdown for that game, where you guys probably were going to go a lot more bigger guys up front.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah. But dang, this is a good question. I'd have to say.
Yeah, now that I said it, I almost want to my answer. I almost want to throw in for a different category.
Okay, exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. Defensive player of the game. I would probably have to say.
It'll be 23 or 39 for me, brother.
23 or 39. Yeah. What about big boy up in the middle, Hicks?
Oh,
Hicks had a hell of a game.
He did, yeah. And he did have that sack. He did have that sack, yeah.
Clutch sack. But yeah, I'd probably say it was Kyle Fuller.
Yeah.
Just because I think I don't know. I mean they really just ran it in from the goal line, so I don't think Fuller he didn't let up much. You know, I mean, of course the interception was huge.
And he obviously wasn't playing Galladay all day, so
yeah, that would have been a way more interesting matchup than Marvin Jones half the time.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I'd have to say Kyle Fuller just because that pick was clutch, but it wasn't even all him. Yeah. You know, but I'd have to say Kyle Fuller.
For me, I'm gonna go Eddie.
That's
because he was all over the field.
He made tackles. He made that pick pretty much.
Yeah. The play that you were just talking about. Yeah, he did. He's just so consistent, man, and like I feel like he has a perfect mentality for playing like that free safety position. Like
he has like no fear with hitting too.
No. Obviously, and like obviously last year he played mostly strong safety too, so he's familiar with it.
Yeah, and he looks bigger than he. I mean, he's only 6 foot, like 200.
He looks big in the 39, and sometimes I'd mix him and 38 up Gibson.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
But
that's kind of weird.
Super big though compared
to him. And he's
Gibson.
He's like
Gibson and Gibson.
Yeah,
two different players. A B and a P.
No, they're both P's. Deshaun Gibson. Yeah.
Okay.
Both P's.
Okay.
I think one's a junior.
So for me, like I said, Eddie Jackson. Akeem Hicks, he would come up. I forgot about the sack, and I bet he was super consistent the whole time.
That's what I mean. AP kind of. AP kind of opened it up.
Yeah, but
if we talking defense.
Yeah. But AP kinda, like we talked about this before, I feel like AP. He's super, like, every time he's in a new environment, he just goes off because he's usually, like, pissed off. Like, whenever he was on the Redskins at the beginning, he did the same thing. I was like, oh, God. And he always flattens out just because, I mean, he is as old as he is. Like, he can't.
But how do you feel about him coming in to the Lions with 2 weeks and then beating out Kerryon Johnson and DeAndre Swift and being the clear starter?
I mean, he is a top 10 running back of all time.
Of course, I'm just saying that, like, I don't think a lot of people were – because when he was on the market,
he just knows what to do.
He was on the market when he got released, and it wasn't like everyone was like, oh, let's just replace our starter right now, 2 weeks out with AP.
I think eventually he'll lose that starting spot.
I don't know, man, unless he gets injured or something. He
became the starter whenever
he ran
took over.
Hard,
yeah, I understand, but he took over for Geis whenever he was on the Redskins, too, and then eventually Geis got the spot back.
What's Geis doing? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But that first play for like 18, like he just.
I'm not necessarily surprised by how he performed.
I'm not surprised. Yeah. I just think that he is like that backfield is going to be legit. I don't think that was a fluke game.
Yeah, like I told you, they'll go crack 100 on y'all. You ain't believe me.
Did you say that?
Yeah. So switching to most pivotal play of the game, biggest Bears moment for the game.
Should we go? Bad news first or good news first? So we do biggest letdown or most pivotal play? Which one you like first?
Let's do
you like your good news first or your good news second?
So biggest pivotal play could be good or bad. For biggest letdown.
For a dub, it's
biggest,
gonna be
letdown,
positive.
I don't want that to be like a play. I want that to almost be like
it could be a performance.
Yeah,
a situation. A play call.
Yeah. So let's do most pivotal play in the game first.
Okay. And I think, but this one specifically, like if you get the dub, it's gonna be positive. If you get the L, it's probably gonna be a negative play. But most pivotal play of the game. So this one is pretty much just the most important, and I'd say so. Most important.
Pretty clear cut answer.
Exactly, I think it's the interception.
Wow.
By Kyle Fuller.
Okay.
Yeah.
You actually might be right about that because of the timing. There was only about 2 minutes
if
left
that
on the
didn't
clock.
happen, dude, like they probably would have gotten something on the board.
See, whenever I was watching or tuning, kind of following on Sunday, I thought that was almost like a 4 minute left to go pick, but that was like
that was like
a clutch.
That was going into the fourth quarter, down 3 scores. Into the fourth quarter, 3 scores. We score. We get the ball back, we score again, and then it's like, are we going to do that for a third time? And then we get to pick, so it was like, and they could put us in good position. Yeah. And then the momentum rolling, and then Anthony Miller literally like a minute later, just boom, and then so I think that point was like that let the offense know that this defense was like ready to win that game.
And for determining most pivotal play, that's perfect for it.
Yeah, because it's turnover.
Yeah.
And the most needed point of the whole game.
Yeah, I'm glad you went that answer.
What are you saying?
I'm going to just say the Anthony Miller touchdown catch.
Huge.
Yeah, obviously. And it's still there's still some time left for the Lions. So it wasn't like it was clear-cut just over at that point.
That's what I'm saying, because that happened fast.
Yeah.
I like it, though. It was such a good play.
I like your answer, though, brother. I think that was probably the most pivotal play in the game.
But that was a better play if we're looking at it like that. Like the Mitch, the read, the one-on-one, the throw.
It was more surprising.
The other one was like Matt tried to stuff it into a tight window with 2 defenders. One of them hit it up in the air.
I was surprised that he tried to do that with that amount of time left. And
he was trying to tag Johnson, and then Eddie Jackson baits, and he comes in flying whenever he reads that and tries to either lay you out or just do what he did there and like just hit it out the way if you can't catch it.
So. Yeah, mine's gonna be an Anthony Miller touchdown.
That was a better play.
Yeah, it was. The play was literally designed to go him the whole time. Because if you watch the other receivers, they're literally just clearing space and stopping, and he's literally the only one dragging out. It was just a fade from the slot. The throw was great. The concentration was great. The extension was great on it.
Yeah, dude. It could not have been a better throw.
Yeah, and
to get him to be able to actually take another step after he caught it.
100%. And I sent him a video earlier of a 2019 play against the Lions. Anthony Miller doing exactly the same thing, but I think it was just from the outside.
That was my favorite throw by him. But then you look at like this one was a little better.
No, that was
kind of
had
to jump and adjust.
Yeah, exactly.
He led him perfect.
I feel so glad for Anthony Miller, man, just because like
me too, dude. We were so high.
Yeah, we were.
I was so hyped when we drafted him.
Draft your playmakers from Memphis is all I gotta say.
Dude, do you remember that though? We were down. We were at the draft live in Dallas on the second day.
No, we were like, dude, Bears got a good draft.
I think we had a couple little margarita. We had some kind of frozen fufu drinks.
Oh yeah.
And we were drinking them, and I remember I saw us trade up. And I was just like, let's go. My favorite.
I remember drinking Miller Lite myself, but
we had these frozen ones for sure.
Inside?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah. I was thinking the outside situation.
No, inside we were sitting, and then we were all up in it and stuff, and that was awesome. I was hyped.
I feel really glad for Anthony Miller, like I said.
I drafted him on my fantasy.
Yeah,
late rounds.
So, I almost think we should just take a break real quick because we got 3 more segments left. We already knocked out 3 of them.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll just take a little break, a little halftime, as we like to say on the show. And yeah, we'll be right back, guys. Back to the Spur and Call podcast, breaking down the Lions 27-23 victory, or Bears 27-23 victory over the Lions. Almost caught me slipping there. Caught me slipping. Exactly.
Never that.
Never that. We pick ourselves up over here. We got 3 more categories left. just lay it out. It's biggest surprise of the game, biggest letdown in the game, and most valuable player in the game. Where without that player, there's no dub.
Yeah, let's start with biggest letdown. I like that category because I think even if the game was positive, it still gives you a way to kind of analyze it in both aspects and really break it down.
Okay. So I'm gonna go first.
Yeah, you hit it off. Biggest letdown.
And trust me, I'm not lying to you. Okay, I was fast forwarding. I was rewinding.
Okay.
I was really breaking it down.
Oh, I know. I'm sure you were, dude.
For
what
me,
was it?
It's gonna be Khalil Mack.
Oh.
I was watching him the whole time, every single snap.
Getting held every play?
Maybe a little bit.
That dude got held a dozen times easily.
Maybe.
First half, that dude was getting held. But yes, I do agree.
He was getting. I mean, whenever your tackle is having quiet feet while they're guarding you, they're not fearful of you, and that's what it was the whole time. Is Taylor Decker or the right tackle, they'd lock up and they'd simply just run their feet a little bit, and it'd almost wash them out. They weren't freaking out. And a lot of
people overextend, try to use power.
Thing, and it wasn't even that he was playing bad. What he was doing was he was doing, and like the Lions were getting out really fast. There wasn't a lot of opportunities for a pass rush. But he was doing like a lot of like slow developing pass rushes where he would bait the guy, go kind of slow, and then try to finish really fast. And by then the ball was usually gone. Like I want to see him hitting the best thing that he does in the game, hitting that long arm right away and just driving back the guy.
His best aspect is like probably power to speed.
Yes, and I don't know. He looked a little sluggish out there.
He's big these days, man.
No, he is.
He's big.
So yeah, I think, and like, it's week 1, guys. It's week 1.
We didn't have Robert Quinn on the other side.
Like for the Cowboys losing, it's like, okay, you got to realize we've had an 8-month off season. It seems like it's all leading up to this one game, and it seems like the world's over if we don't win that game. But dude, once it's in the NFL, bro, I mean, the new game started as soon as the old game was over.
For sure.
So yeah, that was my biggest letdown. Not that he had a terrible game. I just think you expect your top 3 defensive player in the league to make an impact week 1.
Yeah, I can't argue that. That's a good point, buddy. And I think that like I mentioned a bit, not having Robert Quinn and Goldman was kind of like a clear. Yeah. He's a clear double team.
I mean, because like Gibson played a lot. I was actually watching it. He played a lot. So the fact that he had a rookie and Gibson actually was pretty solid. But he was obviously getting most of the attention. He was getting chipped a lot. I even saw Hawkinson hold him up a little bit. I even saw Hawkinson kind of hold him up for a little bit.
Mac?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I mean. A big thing when he was in the Raiders was that like his motor wasn't just 100 every play, and I think it's because I don't think he has like the greatest cardio. Like I'm not saying it's bad, but I don't think he has like amazing, fantastic every play kill it like a lot of the edge guys have. Like TJ Watt never will get tired.
True, but they're also different style players.
I'm just saying, like from the position, you know. I mean, you know,
who's your biggest letdown for the game?
Biggest letdown.
It was almost Mitch there for a second.
I can't argue with what you said at all, but I think that the bigger letdown is just the offense as a whole. Yeah. Yeah, because
how do you feel about your offensive line performance
yesterday? Because that's got to go into why I didn't just do a specific player, why I didn't say Mitch, why I didn't say, there's a lot of. I mean, it's not that we played bad, but as a whole, I mean. This offense is set up now to take that next step. I mean, it's not too. We really didn't make that many changes from last year, and last year wasn't that good. So that showed the confidence we had, and I think that against the depleted Lions defense coming into this first half, like we should have.
Yeah,
we should have been like running.
I mean, their top 3 corners are pretty much out by the end of the game.
Oh no, they were 100% out by the end of the game, but. The end of the game is when we actually took advantage of some of that stuff, but I think that it's still a letdown because the offense and I don't think it's
especially
just
in the
Mitch.
First half.
I don't think it's just the offensive line, but it's mainly them. Monty, I would have liked to see maybe a little little more, but it's not even like he really played bad himself.
Committee route.
That's what I mean. So I think, biggest letdown would be this offense. I know we won, but if we didn't win, like if Mitch didn't get those 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, this offense would have looked probably bottom 10.
Yeah, I mean, he was, for a little bit, his completion percentage was like 25-30%.
And he was throwing, I thought he was throwing pretty accurate. He was giving him some.
I was surprised by that. He was having to escape a lot.
He was putting the ball where he wanted.
Yeah.
Which I liked. But in the beginning, it was just very like scripted calling. If it didn't work, second down. Okay, we'll try this. It's like we just need to get a more of a, I don't know, I guess identity, but I could see it kind of happening. Like what happened with the last 2 drives. I know it's the last 2 drives of the whole game, but that's the offense like Matt Nagy is wanting to run. Like fast tempo, like confident plays. Like
everyone was running tempo week 1, man. I'll tell you what.
For sure, but you know what I mean. Just
no, of course, and they want to be consistent with that. Is the thing.
Yeah, we not trickery. Like forget all that. Like just. I don't know. I just think I like the offense. It was all right. Next week we have, we're kind of lucky to play the Giants. I don't think that their defense is going to be much better than the Lions was. Yeah, it might be. They played on paper.
They played solid the first half, but they kind of whenever they played the Steelers, but they kind of got exposed.
Yeah, so it'll be. Yeah, we're not the Steelers' offense by any means either. So yeah, I'd say that would have to be the biggest letdown. Are we?
I don't know.
The Bears?
I don't know. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. I just have this thought with Big Ben in my head. I'm like, and he played good. He played good.
Yeah, he did. Did I say he was gonna play good? Yes.
Yeah.
And you said that he was 400 pounds.
Well,
I was done. Big Ben.
I don't think he plays bad. I just think after a couple hits, he might that tower might fall down.
Dude, he's huge.
No, I understand, and you're right. Even whenever he was getting sacked, I was like, dude, they're still struggling to get him down. I was like surprised by that.
It's going to be harder now. I mean, you're not just going to run full speed, open, clean hit at Big Ben anymore. But anyways.
So,
biggest letdown was offense, Khalil Mack. Those two were probably, if both of those things played 100%, we would have swept the Lions.
Yes.
If Mack gets 2 sacks, forced fumble, and offense gets 400 yards. I mean, rushing, we were 150.
Probably got 400 yards.
Rushing, we were 150. And that was top 10. It just didn't look like it, but I could tell it was a lot better. It was mainly just that passing offense, that pass blocking. Yeah. It's just.
Yeah. So
real quick, Jermaine Ifedi looked all right.
Okay. I wasn't.
He looked pretty good, dude.
I was watching you guys' tackles more.
He looked pretty good, man. Like he looked like a starter. He didn't look like he was kind of all like trying to, he looked pretty good.
Yeah. So biggest surprise of the game.
Biggest surprise of the game.
And this could be a performance. It could maybe be a player. And in matter of fact, I think it is going to be a player for me. Well, I guess I can go a couple routes with this. I can go a couple routes with this. So let me give you my 1B answer, and I'll give you my 1A answer.
I don't know if that's fair. I think you got to stick with one.
Well,
I think you
my 1A is going to be my clear one, but let me just give you my little hint.
No, because then you got to... Okay, whatever.
Just give a little...
He's giving 2 answers, but I'll go.
You can do it too, brother. I like the way Darnell Mooney played. I think he was pretty fast.
I wouldn't say I was surprised, though.
Well, just
surprised that because Riley Ridley was out.
Because he's a rookie.
Riley Ridley was out though. Game. That's why he played that much, and then they gave him looks.
No, I understand, but it's not like he was just nothing out there.
Oh yeah, he looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I feel that.
I was watching his releases off the line. He was hitting some pools with some.
I saw him warming up with this ball, doing these little like hand tricks before the game.
Yeah, I saw that. Stuff getting drop, catch. Yeah.
I was like, okay, he looked like he kind of focused.
But for my real answer, and it's not that.
Okay, I like it.
And we've obviously been high on this guy, but you just want to see it the first week.
Mm-hmm.
He's a rookie. For me, it's Jalen Johnson.
That's why, yeah.
Especially considering how it first went. I remember I wasn't watching the game.
And I sent you that video.
The first highlight you sent me is Marvin Jones just trucking him, and I want to give my man effort or some points because it's not that it was a lack of effort on the tackle.
No, he baited the hell out of him in that truck.
Because I feel like he absorbed his energy, like Marvin Jones. Because, he was going for the tackle, really
good.
But Marvin Jones stopped, saw it, and, went up with it.
That's what I mean. Marvin Jones knew it was the rookie.
Yeah.
He acted like he was just kind of not going to run him over. And then full speed stepped into Johnson. And Johnson's feet were planted. And he literally just kept those feet right through him. Got 5-10 more yards.
Yeah, for me, it's Johnson. And, me and him, we've been high on him. It's just like I said, you want to see it in the first. Like, you want to see your rookie.
You surprised that he did well? You don't think he did well?
In his first game.
I was like you're saying he did well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he made 4 or 5 plays.
That's what I mean.
Wow.
Yeah, I was definitely surprised too. He probably should have had a turnover on that pick.
No, that's my favorite play is that because it was a drag across the whole entire field, and the fact that he stayed all the way with it and like almost went over the top.
He was in front of the receiver.
Yeah,
pretty
and
much.
then he made probably the play of the game. Not that I think it was a super catchable ball, but
No, that last play, 100% catchable ball. You look at that. You look at the receiver. That receiver was not worried about what the defense was doing. He was going to catch that ball. His feet were in bounds. He was like this.
Yeah.
Johnson threw that.
Yeah.
That was an underrated play. I think.
And then he made a couple more plays. He made a nice play in the run game.
I think if the crowd was there, you would have known how big of a play that was.
Yeah.
Because he stood there all like this, and it was just quiet. And I was like, damn, like we need that roar, you know.
Yeah. So yeah,
that was good. I like those. Surprise! You were surprised that the rookies came out and played pretty well week 1. I like it. Okay, I'm gonna say my biggest surprise. See, okay, that's kind of different. I guess I'll go 2. Because as a Bears fan, I wasn't surprised by the rookies. You know, I knew who we had. You know what I mean? So I wasn't too surprised. If Jalen Johnson got a pick week 1, I wouldn't have been surprised. I would have just been like, all right, we got he because a lot of times even Diggs looked like a legit. Mm-hmm. He played 1 game, but you're like, okay, I could see how this, if you don't get injured, they look big, they look fast.
They had a super similar game.
Yeah, and for sure. I just think they tried to target Johnson a bit more, so he got more. Yeah. He got a couple more pass breakups and stuff. Sure. But I think that was a good one. But I think I have two as well. I'll say my biggest surprise of the game is the drop pass by DeAndre Swift to win the game.
Okay,
because I was so sure he caught it.
He smoked Roquan Smith on that.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. He wasn't expecting to go deep for it.
And just the angle of it, it's like, why is your running back running like that flag route? I bet he was surprised by that.
I just think like that's like a top rookie player.
He even turned around too.
That's a top like what did he do in college? What were his numbers?
I mean, they were
amazing.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like for him to just wide open, like no defender touched him. Skrine did not touch him, even though he didn't touch him. He kind of did. He kind of just. I feel like he didn't have to.
Thought he had it, and he just.
I think he probably should have just fell down with it. Like you didn't have to get upfield. You were in the end zone. Yeah. I don't know. I just think that like me and my granny were watching that dude, and we both saw that. I was standing up, my granny, and as soon as we saw that, because Stafford's accurate, and I was like, no, like we just lost the game. Granny's head was in her hands, and then I looked up and I saw the ball on the ground, and I was like, no. I was like, Granny, he dropped that pass. Like what? It was so. I mean, of course, the rookie. Like it's not like he threw it to like a vet or something.
Yeah, and it's not like he's a receiver either.
No, but I was just so that was the most shocking thing to me, probably most surprised. And if it wasn't that, I would say
let's take the Bears' perspective. Like, what was the biggest?
I would say Mitch, like coming back,
clutch. That's a good answer. Yeah, that's a good answer.
True clutch because especially with the first half, like
it was not good.
Like let's say that game ended, you didn't watch the game, he had 250 yards, 3 touchdowns. Like I wouldn't be like, damn, that's so surprising. But if you watch the game and you watch how for the first 45 minutes of the entire game, he didn't do much at all, and then scored 3 times at the end.
Yeah.
That showed that like they didn't give up on him. I heard a bunch of analysts, Robert, text me, Foles. Like, bro, this dude's played 2 quarters. Come on. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of like
that completion percentage was bad, all right?
I know, but it's like he didn't turn it over yet. Yeah. Murray turned it over. Brady turned it. Like a lot of good quarterback. Watson played like butt cheek. Mahomes didn't even play that good.
Poking your buttons, pressing your buttons.
No, I know, but I heard a lot of people were like, I would have put Foles in. It's like, really, dude? Yeah. Just like that, and then he's just gonna.
Yeah, what's Foles gonna do whenever the play breaks down and he's got to?
But it's just like he wasn't obviously better than Mitch in training camp, or he would have been the starter if he was that much better. Yeah. But there's so much I can go down why Mitch was going to be the starter and why we're going to at least give him 4 games, and that shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, even if he plays like crap the next 3.
That's a good answer for biggest surprise, just because it really was a surprise how the game.
I was just like, he's coming back. He did it again and again and again.
And it'll lead. I mean, he probably the biggest comeback of any quarterback, I would assume, this week 1.
Oh, by far. But who else had a big comeback? Oh, one team came back big too. and won. Gosh, that's gonna bother me. But another team came back really big and won as well. But I don't know if it was just all like quarterback tuds.
Yeah. So to piggyback off that, to go into MVP.
Yeah.
For me, this would be the guy we just got done talking about, Trubisky, just because of how he performed. If there was no Trubisky in that game, if he didn't make that throw at the pivotal point in the game, I don't think. I mean, y'all wouldn't have won. Even if Foles was in the game, I don't think y'all would have won that situation. Just because he had to extend some plays.
We didn't run the ball in on the goal line. We threw a fade to Jimmy Graham.
Mm-hmm.
We were on like the 12-yard line. Yeah. We didn't hand it to Monty. We threw it to Javon Wims on a flag.
On the fourth quarter, he was just so accurate, like you're saying.
That's what I mean.
Like on the almost Jimmy Graham.
We made it look easy. We made it like, why have we been doing this?
On the almost Jimmy Graham second touchdown. I mean, the guy was blanking him, and it was just a drag route.
Yeah.
And by that point, he was already about 10 yards in this way, and that throw is so hard to get right on the dot for him to keep going after the play. I was like, bro, he is really threading it.
Komet would have scored.
Yeah, and even
kind of disappointed Komet didn't get a catch. That might have been on the biggest letdown.
I was trying to watch y'all's personnel packages. Y'all weren't running as much 12 personnel as I thought. Y'all were doing a lot more.
Yeah, we relied on receivers.
Sets.
Yeah. Because Anthony Miller's a slot,
and
so that makes sense.
Personnel is all based on matchups. Maybe y'all didn't, see fit against the Lions.
It's going to be It's going to be more of a new thing, actually having two good tight ends. So we're just going to have to phase it in slowly. Because, like I said, Anthony Miller's a slot receiver, so most of the time you're going to have two outside guys.
Yeah.
With a slot in.
So for me, MVP, most valuable player, Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah.
Quarterback, North Carolina.
Who would have thought, man?
Yeah.
We would have been talking week 1 MVP, Mitch. Because who was your prediction? Do you remember who you thought my MVP was going to be? Which goes hand in hand with
for this game.
You said Clomac, and I said Allen Robinson
before the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both pretty big letdowns week 1.
Yeah, Robinson wasn't bad, but
he wasn't. No, it wasn't his fault why he didn't. Like if they would have thrown him that catch, any catches and any red zone targets, I'm sure he probably would have gotten.
And he made a crazy catch too in the game.
Was that a better catch than Anthony Miller's? Like technically?
Yeah.
Because he was fully extended and his belly hit the ground, dude. Like, how much that had to hurt?
No, at Robinson, he had to create something that wasn't there on that play. Like, he had to get into the second
But it wasn't even just like he dove and then, like, just landed. Like, he landed belly flop. Yeah. He had to belly flop because it was like this, Yeah, that was crazy. That was fingertips.
Yeah, who's your MVP for the game?
Mitch, man. Like I was saying, I agree. Yeah, I thought we were both going in on that one together.
Who's a dark horse MVP?
Dark horse MVP. Most valuable player, bro. Charles Leno. Fumble recovery. No sacks allowed. No. No, he actually. Who got a sack that game? Lions.
Danny Shelton was going off, man. He was rumbling in there. I was watching.
Was he rumbling? Trey Flowers got a sack actually on Charles Leno.
Yeah.
But
Trey didn't look bad, dude. It was like he was kind of leaning out a little bit, but
he plays the run hard, run first for that dude.
Yeah.
He's not just trying to get that QB. No. But he's big, dude. He looks big and strong. But
a good defensive line quote: "You stop the run on the way to the quarterback."
He looks like he could almost play 3-tech. But I guess he said, he's slimmer now.
He could.
He's like a Khalil Mack, like Aaron Donald.
Dark horse MVP though. Maybe Akeem Hicks.
Sure.
How about Jermaine Ifedi?
As an MVP, it's kind of rough. I'd say realistically, like the most valuable player, maybe like Anthony Miller, like in the sense of the game. He was super valuable. He had like 3 first downs and a touchdown.
Hard to argue with that.
Most valuable player, Cordero Patterson did pretty good with special teams and offense combined.
He was almost my biggest surprise just because he was in the return game he was
good. So I mean, he actually did like really good.
He was good at running back. I didn't really see him at receiver, but
he lined up outside a lot.
Yeah.
But like it was more of like a decoy probably to just stretch the field.
Yeah. So obviously just broke down the game. Who y'all playing next week? Giants? Is that what you said?
New York Giants.
You're
gonna want to watch that, huh?
New York Football Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
we're actually gonna be watching it together.
Yeah, we're gonna take a little getaway trip this weekend.
Yeah.
With
Cowboys and boys, Bears play both at 12, but we'll get them dual screens going and be watching them both at the same time.
Yeah, we'll get it done the right way. We'll have that. We'll have a podcast breaking down that game
for sure
pretty soon.
Yeah.
So I think we pretty much covered that. Bears won 27-23, 1-0.
Bears dub, man.
That's how you start the season, brother. Hey, high five right there, man.
I'm just gonna say, dude, halfway, like when in the third quarter, dude, I was getting like PTSD flashbacks of
And
like going like having
I remember you're like, dude, same crap, bro.
Dude, I was just like, oh, I forgot about this. I forgot about this empty hole feeling in my soul that happens whenever this team just
Football
underperforms.
season is rough, man.
It's not even like the team is bad, but whenever you have a good team, I'm sure you can relate. Like with the Cowboys, you have a good team and they just don't play good. It's very, very frustrating. So I was ecstatic to see. I don't care how it happened. People say you should don't be too hot, but dude, I'm ecstatic. I do not care how. It's a win.
A thriller.
Yeah,
it
man.
It was a thriller. So yeah, guys, broke down that game.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have that Giants podcast coming up, and
Easy dub.
we'll
talk about it.
The breakdown of my sad Cowboys coming soon.
Biscuit's gonna have more rushing yards.
All right, that's the podcast for today, boys. Appreciate y'all. Take it easy. Be safe.